Now, Tom, question, Medicare for all. I am very upset at the Democratic Party right now, and I many times when I write about it at Daily Kos, I get slaughtered. I want to get your opinion on this that I hope I know already. But I think that at this point in time, the biggest problem with Medicare for all isn't the Republicans, but it is the lack of support by establishment Democrats. Your thoughts?
I agree. Healthcare as an industry category basically encompasses probably in the neighborhood of $2 to $2.5 trillion a year of our economy. I mean, it's a major part of our economy. And any business that's spinning off or that's burning through $2 trillion a year can throw around millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars like chump change. And they are pouring that money down the throats of our politicians in Washington, D.C. So they own basically the entire Republican Party. The entire Republican Party's on the take. I mean, that's the only way that you get to have power in the Republican. But they also own about half the Democratic Party. And the battle that's going on inside our party right now, Egberto, is the battle between the people who want to continue the gravy train, the corporate gravy train, and continue just, getting along by going along, versus the people who actually want to make this country work. And, Medicare for all is a really big part of making this country work, but it's going to take away hundreds of billions of dollars in profits from the pharmaceutical industry, from the health insurance industry, and from the hospitals. And they're all fighting it like crazy. So, that war, it just makes sense that war would spill over into the Democratic Party. That's where we need to be just, being citizen lobbyists with our own Democratic politicians.
Absolutely. There's this group called the Partnership for Healthcare Future or something like that. They have two tenets that they want to work on. The first one is that 180 million people are going to lose their private insurance, and likewise that taxes are going to go up, which both of those statements are true but misrepresented. How do we tell the average American that private insurance that they're likely to quote unquote lose is not half as good as what we're proposing for Medicare for all, because of all the costs that would be removed from having to pay all these profits that are permeated throughout the system?
I think the way to do that is, once the Democratic Party is all singing from the same hymnal, which is going to depend to a certain extent, at least over the short term, over the next couple of years, on who they decide is going to be their presidential nominee. But if we could get the entire party behind Medicare for all, or some variation, some version of single-payer healthcare, then I think it's just a matter of talking about the details. Would you like to be able to go to the doctor's office and not have to pay a copay? Would you like to be able to pick up your drugs and not have to pay for them? Would you like to have your eyeglass, your eye work, your vision care paid for? Do you want to have your dental care paid for? I mean, these are the things that are right now on the table in the Medicare for all, and they're all things that are going to be negotiated one at a time. And as we go through those negotiations, because right now Medicare doesn't cover, teeth or vision. So as we go through those things step by step, that's going to be the educational process. But we're not going to have the debates on those things until the Democratic Party decides, hey, it's time to bring this kind of legislation to the floor and actually have the debate in committee and open it up to the public.
Do you think we can have a change of heart of these establishment candidates, or are we going to just have to get rid of them and bring in the more progressive, try to run some more progressive candidates?
I think it's going to be both. You're seeing, I'm seeing, for example, like Tim Ryan and Beto O'Rourke were both DLC Democrats. I mean, they're both members of the New Democrat Coalition,
right,
which is caucus rather, which is the reincarnation of the Democratic Leadership Council, Bill Clinton's old, corporate Democrat thing.
Right.
And both of them are starting to make noises like progressives now that they're running for president. They have figured out which way the wind blows. Years ago, a wise politician made the comment to me that the job of a politician isn't to lead the parade, it's to figure out where the parade is. That, a smart politician looks around and says, oh, there's a big parade, and I agree with it, so I'm going to jump in front of it and hold my flag up and say, this is my parade. And that's in fact what happens. I mean, Franklin Roosevelt didn't run on a platform of I'm going to do Social Security and unemployment insurance. He ran on a platform, frankly, of balancing our budget, which is crazy, right?
And look at what it turned out, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But he got into office and he saw where the parades were and he got in front of them. So you're going to have some politicians who figure that out and are able to disentangle themselves from all the corporate money they're getting.
Friends, please click the button here and subscribe to the channel. That is how we get the message out.